Hello! You are watching the Video Voters Guide, organized by the League of Women Voters of Portland. All candidates who filed for this race were invited to participate in the Video Voters Guide. However, there are many reasons during a campaign why a candidate may be unable to appear. For comprehensive coverage by the League, including information on candidates who might not have been available for a video interview, visit vote411.org. Information is available in both English and Spanish. Candidates may choose to include additional information on Vote 411, such as their own YouTube videos. Watch, share, and be an informed voter.
Hello, this is Debbie Kay, President of the League of Women Voters of Portland. With me today is Mayra Gómez, running for Gresham Barlow School District at-large position 6 in the May 18th special district election. Welcome, Mayra.
Thank you, Debbie. It's good to see you.
Good. Likewise, glad to meet you. Tell us, what does being a supporter of public education mean to you?
Supporting public education to me means having the opportunity to provide support for all of our students. I believe that education is the one equalizer in our country. And when we provide an equitable education, we truly are providing that opportunity to all of our students. So having the opportunity to be part of making that education accessible to all of our students is a privilege, and I want to be part of that.
What do you think is the biggest challenge facing our public schools right now, and your plan to address it?
You know, one of our biggest challenges from my experience is that access to equitable education. We all have different ideas of what that means and what that looks like. And being able to address that and meeting our students where they're at is always a challenge. Education is not always fully funded. Education does not always come with the resources necessary. And that's an ongoing challenge that, that we hope to keep addressing.
Thank you. How are our schools planning to ensure that students graduate with the knowledge and skills they need to move on to college or into careers?
You know, right now, I serve on the Gresham Barlow School Board, and something that our high schools have done in the past few years is implement ninth grade teams or ninth grade success teams, where our students are cohorted and each student receives individualized support. And our students are receiving academic guidance based on what they want and based on what they need. So we are growing our CTE programs, career technical education programs. We are providing internships and creating partnerships with our businesses in the community. So we're building bridges, and that is so that our students are not tracked. Our students are going to graduate prepared to take whatever option they want without being told this is what is for you. But it's like, no, we are going to prepare you for you to be able to make the choice that's best for you. So our students have a voice in that, and our students have a voice in their decisions.
Wonderful. What are the district actions that you believe would be most effective at reducing learning gaps for minorities? Are there partnerships, again, that you could use to help reduce those learning gaps?
Yeah, so I mentioned the ninth grade success teams, our CTE programs, our community partnerships. Internships are very important in offering that exposure to our students of what the different options are post-secondarily, right? We are working with our community colleges as well, so that we do make college accessible to all of our students. And we are providing information to our families. We are making sure that all of our information regarding post-secondary as well as graduation information in, you know, High School 101 is accessible to all of our families. We have a large number of refugee families. We have a large number of immigrant families whose education system looks very different than the education system we have here in the United States. So we want our families to be well informed so that when they do, when they are part of that decision-making process with their children, they are making informed decision. So it is our job as a school district to provide that information to our families. And in that sense, we are empowering our families to be part of our education system.
Our last question, and you've been a speedy responder, so we'll have an extra moment or two. Our last question, how will you help students heal from the trauma of COVID, from losses and quarantines, economic instability, online learning?
So first, this pandemic this year has been traumatic for all of us, and I don't want to say that there was learning loss, because that learning loss is based on a definition that was given to us, right? It's based on academics, and learning is not just academics. So we are going to meet our students where they're at when they return to us. We are going to provide that social and emotional support like we have been all year. However, we also want them to realize that they have cultural wealth in their homes. A lot of our students live in multi-generational families, as mine. I live with my dad, my sister, and my niece and nephew. So those multi-generational homes, there was a lot of learning going on that didn't have to do with reading and writing and math, right? Grandparents were sharing their stories. Kids were hearing from their parents. So all of that is very valuable knowledge and wisdom that is being passed down from one generation to another that we wouldn't have had the opportunity to access if we hadn't had that time at home. So it's very important that we remind our students the valuable skills that they gained from being at home with their families, with their relatives. Our students, they're learning how to cook. They're learning how to use appliances at home. My nephew broke my dishwasher because he used the wrong type of detergent, right? So it's really important that we remind our kids how important that time was, and to take that with them. It's going to be held in their hearts. But once they do return to our brick and mortar schools like they are now, we will get back to the academic learning without leaving behind that emotional learning and the wisdom that was gained from being at home.
I think you have presented the most positive attitude about this experience of anyone I've spoken to, and I thank you for it. Good for you. Good points. We have a little extra time. Is there anything you would like to add about your...
I do. I want to remind our families that they, going back to my previous answer, that you don't need a college degree to provide your students with academic support, with emotional support, because there is that wisdom that is brought from one generation to another, that is brought with us from other countries if our families are immigrants, that are just the wisdom that is held in experiences from our elders. So we don't need to have a college degree. We don't need to have a PhD to be able to support our kids. There are many ways that we can support our kids, even if it's just bringing them a cup of tea when they're doing their homework, giving them a hug, just giving them words of encouragement. Those are all ways that we can support our kids, even if we don't know how to log into Zoom or join Google Classroom. So it's really important that our parents know that there are many ways that they are already empowered, that doesn't have to do with taking a class.
Thank you. I appreciate hearing from you. I want to remind our viewers that the special district election, will be May 18th. As with all elections in Oregon, we will vote by mail. And the last day to register to vote, if you aren't already, is April 27th. Ballots will be mailed the following day. Ballots must be received at the elections office by Tuesday, May 18th at 8 p.m. Postmarks do not count. So make a plan for how your ballot is going to be delivered, either by mailing it a week in advance or sending it to a drop-off site. Additional election information is available through the League of Women Voters sponsored website, vote411.org. Your election questions will be answered there. Please be an informed voter and share these resources with your family and your friends. This is Debbie Kay with the League of Women Voters of Portland. Thank you for joining us today. And Mayra, thank you for joining us. Best wishes to you.
Thank you.